Hey guys, it's BlockchainBrad, and as always, it's freaking amazing to be with you guys, especially at the moment with all the action that's happening on NEO. As you've seen, the price hike is pretty substantial, it's pretty impressive, and there's absolute reasons for that. And many of you would know some of the activities and the movements of NEO at the moment. There's a lot of dApps being developed, but there is some other information I need to talk to you about. It's really big, and it's really worth knowing because it'll explain exactly what that anomalous enigma that Malcolm Lorida posted on Twitter recently is all about, and anyone who follows NEO will know exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, so firstly guys, if you haven't checked out my YouTube, definitely head across because it will help you understand a bit more about NEO. There's been a bit of a rumor floating around that I somehow am sponsored by NEO. At the moment that's not the case. I am simply just someone who has a genuine interest in NEO, and I also have skin in the game, meaning that if you're not familiar with that phrase, if you're from other countries, it just means I personally am invested in NEO because I believe in the technology so genuinely. So guys, look, without further ado, let's get straight into some of the articles. There's only a few that I want to talk about, and the first one is this. Now, if you haven't seen it, it's posted from Today Finance, and the title is Onchain Pioneer Blockchain R&D Company Redefines Distributed Trust Network. Now guys, this is a really important article. It basically explains exactly what this new distributed trust network is going to be, and coming from this article, it explains it's called the Ontology Network. Now, it is specifically a trust network, and basically, just as a quick summary, because I don't want to waste too much of your time, because I know this is, at the moment, a pretty exciting time for NEO, and you want to go and find out what's going on from other sources, but essentially, it's about things like cross-chain, cross-system, cross-industry, cross-application, cross-device. Now, as you guys know, I'm a big fan of NeoX being the bridge, the interoperable bridge for Onchain as a separate entity, a private permissioned blockchain, and the public permissionless blockchain, which is called NEO. Now, obviously, you know, with many of my talks before, NEO is about bridging those two worlds together to open up an access point or almost a portal for the worlds of enterprise for NEO. Now, this is one step far above that. This is about essentially providing an architecture or an overall framework of trust. Now, as I said in previous videos as well, trust is really important because trust equates to utility. It equates to use in the enterprise space. So for that reason, guys, this is something that is absolutely freaking massive. Important to know, essentially it's about a whole ecosystem. It's about a whole ecosystem reform so that trust can be not just inculcated, but trust can be built upon the very fabric of Onchain, and that can't be understated because Onchain itself, yes, is a separate entity, but as you can see from this article, it goes into at great lengths to explain exactly how that's going to work, and I encourage you all to go and have a look at that because it's going to affect things like digital assets, which is one of the key features of NEO, and digital identity as well. So it's a massive thing. And once again, the CFCA, as you know, has recently been involved, and they've been attending the conference in New York, and that's also what this is about. So have a look at this website. It will explain everything that you want to know. The next thing I want to talk to you about is an article that was posted on the 27th in Meetup. It explains, once again, Onchain's blockchain project launch. And many people initially, when they read this, they were concerned because there were some serious stakeholders from all different parts of the Chinese, I guess, business and enterprise and government sector. I'll show you exactly what I mean. So if you look down here, you can see here that two people who were attending were obviously Da Hongfei and Jun Li, and both of those are recognized in their on-chain role. So Da being the CEO of Onchain and the chief architect of Onchain. So initially you think it's an on-chain initiative. You think it's all about the private and permissioned blockchain. But if you dig deeper, you can actually start to see there's strong connections with NEO, and NEO is going to directly benefit from all of these things that are coming on board with this new ontology trust system. So it's really exciting. Now if we just go back to that other article for a moment, what you'll see is, actually I'll go straight to this one. If you go to this article, you'll see just how big the participants are, like in terms of their position. So you have people like Wan Khan or Wan Chan, I'm not sure how to pronounce your name, from Fosun. Now Fosun we need to talk about. Fosun is one of the very largest venture capital companies in China, if not the largest. So it's all about big money, and the people who are attending that are the executive director and senior vice president. So this is a really big deal. Then you've also got Giyu Dong, who is an open source team leader. So again, a lot of influence from the blockchain sector. Then you've got Wan Dongdong, who is the CFCA product director. Now that's unbelievably important, because this is where you get some of those nuances of government intervention or involvement, because when you're talking about digital certification, that's something that is signed off by government authorities. Then obviously you've got the last two who relate to Onchain, Da and Li. So guys, that is so important for what is going on right now in New York. And if the more we can unpack this, the more we'll understand what that enigmatic post was about that Malcolm Laredo posted, because that's just going to help us be ahead of the game. And finally, I wanted to post you this. This is a document that I found online, and it reinforces exactly what is going on. There is a brand new trust network being built on the architecture, and it is called the Ontology Network. It is breaking news. Very few people even know what ontology is, but because these documents are accessible online, guys, they're all in the links below. You can go and read them, and they will help you really just unpack the magnitude of this. So guys, I don't want to take too much of your time. I'm sure you're very busy looking at everything that's going on Reddit. So check out Reddit, check out Slack, check out every Telegram you can, whatever you can to find out what is exactly going on. It's so great to see the movement happen for NEO. We wanted to see some of these price hikes because it's been quite stagnant for a long time. Irrespective of that though, there is an absolute ecosystem building. There's some really fantastic dApps headed by very respectable companies with a lot of financial backing, and the time is exciting for NEO for the future. Looking forward to seeing what the future will bring for an amazing ecosystem. Guys, hope you've enjoyed this information. Until next time, it's BlockchainBrad signing out. Cheers.